Welcome back, everybody, to the I'm Not Dave Wrestling Podcast. And like always, I got my man Manny here. What is going on, good sir?
What's up, good brother? What's going on, everybody? Sorry, it's been a minute. I know we keep saying that a lot every podcast. I promise y'all we'll get better at these episodes, man. We just liffy. We just busy, man. Life is life, man. Both of us got day jobs and families, and
It's tough.
life going on. We're not professional podcasters yet.
Oh
Well,
no,
we are, but we just ain't getting paid for it.
yeah. If
so.
somebody want to throw a check, then I really will give me better.
If a podcast network out there want to cut us a check or at least give us a platform, shit, we do a podcast for y'all every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Every week, every day, as long as somebody paying.
You know what I mean? But hey, we're here though.
Yes,
we're back.
And we are. Well, right now, as we're recording, week 1 of the Netflix Raw ever has happened, and I gotta tell you, off of watching it, actually watching it a second time throughout the week after that, it aired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, WWE is different right now. When I say different, I mean good. AEW, you had your chance. Good luck. Just maintain and do your best to be the best number 2 product you can ever be, because that number 1 spot, fuck that.
At least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that shit on lock. Wrestling is hot again. Wrestling is mainstream again. Wrestling is cool again, so to speak, to a certain degree. It just Raw being on Netflix just made them feel they were already major league, right? It just made them feel
bigger.
Yeah, bigger than that. Like important. Like, we here now.
We've arrived.
Yeah, you
know what it feels like? I was kind of young when this transition happened, but you know what it feels like? Like wrestling has always been on TV, but like when Raw first debuted, like, and I'm sure like some of the OG, if you have OG listeners, like that first Saturday night's main event on NBC, or like when Raw first came to like first live on Monday nights, like that's what it feels like. Like, whoa, we in the big leagues now. Like,
right.
Before it felt like, superstars on the weekend, or a tape show from like 3 weeks in advance. But like now, oh wow, we live Monday nights every night. Oh shit, we on network television. This is what it feels like. It feels like in the same vein as like this is of a changing of a guard or a new, regardless of what you feel about the product or what you felt about the show or whatever. The fact that this wrestling company now is on Netflix streaming live every Monday night is special. It's major.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just think it's you always going to have that crowd that's going to pretty much shit on everything, right? Like if you're a hardcore AEW and don't give a fuck about WWE, you're going to shit on it. But just looking at it objectively as a person who doesn't wave a flag for any promotion, I just think Raw is like, it's great, man. Everything just feels a lot tighter. And when I say that, I'm saying from the storylines to how they treat social media, just even to how the announcers talk about matches and talk to the audience that's watching. We don't feel like we're getting our intelligence insulted to a certain degree. Because, Vince had a tendency to do that a lot, like, or poo-poo or try to ignore certain stuff. And they're doing a good job of, hey, we're not sugarcoating that this person was here or this person was in Japan or this person wrestled here.
This person's got a randomly new name,
Right. And
Penta's going to be Penta. He's not going to be Sin Cara 2.0, or I guess 3.0.
To the point of he hasn't even debuted yet. They just went ahead and put all his stuff.
Put all his merch.
Just put it up there.
Yeah. Now I appreciate, like you said, they're not insulting people's intelligence.
Right.
The product just feels.
And the in-ring product is. The in-ring has been fucking awesome to me. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
I really.
This is. The product is humming right now. I mean, there's some we'll talk about it, I'm sure. I had some problems with the Raw show.
What problems? No, let's talk about that. Well, I'm curious to hear what was your problems with the Raw show.
I mean, I like the show overall. I don't know. I think they kind of overhyped it to the point of it just being like, I don't know. And I think we all kind of fall victims to like the hype, right? When WWE kind of puts the hype machine on overload and makes this to be like a big show, and And then in reality, you're kind of left feeling like, it was a big show, but like they played it kind of safe. Tribal Combat was what it was. Um, the main event were great matches. Like I thought the Punk Seth match was amazing. Really built to that crescendo. Tribal Combat was good. I think the biggest issues I had was just with The Rock. That whole situation. I don't know if it's storyline driven. Some people think it's a work. Some people think it's just, I don't know, they've dropped the storyline. Maybe Rock is not going to be at Mania. I don't know, but that just felt weird. Like the last time we really had seen The Rock was, Bad Blood, and he came out, you get the throat slashing sign, all the shit, the exchange with Cody at the end of Raw, the post Mania Raw, and then, like a lot of people have been looking forward to when The Rock first returned, especially with the whole Bloodline saga going on. And then he comes back and like this, we get happy-go-lucky Rock. We get, company's in good hands, Cody, and we have a drink together. And it just like, it just kind of was like, just weird. Yeah, it was just kind of weird. I don't know. Like that was honestly my biggest problem with the show. From an in-ring perspective, the show felt really good and really crisp. Even WWE shows that feel like they don't have a lot of news, even still are just good from an in-ring perspective. And this one was no different. I don't know. I guess I just kind of expected more surprises and like a bigger hook for next week than just kind of we're kind of ending these storylines and that's it. No real kind of teaser to it. Like I looked at it like if I'm a lapsed fan or I'm a new fan, did the WWE give you anything to kind of keep you hooked for next week? Was there anything that was like, oh, wow, that's an interesting place they're going? Or I wonder, like, outside of just like the matches and the storylines kind of concluding and being there, like I don't know if they gave you that hook. Like the best shows are the shows that give you just enough to keep you wanting more while also hooking you for something for the following week. And I feel like that piece, I felt like they dropped a little bit of the ball on. It's like they didn't keep you kind of engaged on like, what's maybe now I got to tune in next week because I want to follow up on this. It kind of just felt like this was the end of everything. And then like, we'll tell y'all next week what's going to happen going forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I'm getting where you going. You just wanted a hook. You wanted something to.
Yeah, I kind of just wanted more of a hook, man. Like I
get it.
Like it just kind of felt like, I don't know. I don't want to say it was too predictable because I hate when fans say, "Oh, it's too predictable." Like some of the best wrestling shows ever were the most predictable ones. Like so I hate that term, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted more from the show than I actually got. Like the presentation, the aura of it, it felt like a big show. Obviously, and it should have. Like I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like for instance, like Rhea and Liv. It was just a I don't know. I felt like it was just there. It felt like it was just a decent match. It was there. The right winner won. The feud is essentially over. But they didn't kind of give you anything else. Like, oh, okay.
I get it. Right. You wanted that 97, 98 Nitro ending where they gave you something that, you going to tune back next week. You definitely going to tune back to see. Well, I get it. Like, I get it.
Exactly. Or even just something with The Rock. Like, I know they're kind of still kind of holding their cards a little close to the vest because there's still a question mark of, is The Rock going to be at Mania? Is he not going to be at Mania? Whatever. Like, I get that. I'm not saying blow your load in one Raw, but like, damn, like you got to give me something at least. Like,
I can tell you, I can actually tell you why they didn't do that.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm curious to hear.
You're not beating the NFL. You're not beating the NFL. Mm-hmm. And they know which game was going to happen, Monday, but they probably had an idea. Well, we don't know what game we getting. Should we try to hook them in for next week? And then, we build this show up like a nice card. I think the card is pretty good this week, but anyway.
Yeah, the card is good. Like the card is good. I don't know. I just kind of I wanted that like, okay, this is the next chapter.
Yeah.
Or at least dropping breadcrumbs like this is going to be the next chapter.
So let me ask you this. Would it have been better if they would have ended these feuds at WrestleMania? I mean, not WrestleMania, Royal Rumble for you? Like, should they just waited and held that off to end the feud? See, I don't think the Punk Rollins thing is over.
No, I don't think the Punk. I don't think the Punk thing is over. I don't. I think the way it played out, I definitely don't think it's over. I think that's a larger, longer story. So I didn't have a problem with how that ended. I guess my biggest issue is with the bloodline thing. Like I felt like they could have done a little bit more there. I don't know. I think I personally would like the live and Rhea thing. It felt like it lacked a little bit of heat personally because I think they kind of stretched the feud out for way too long. Like I think they should have ended it at Survivor Series, me personally, or at least at the first Saturday Night's Main. Like that's what it should have been. I felt like I don't know. I felt like there was. I mean, we all knew it. We all knew where it was going, right? We all knew that Rhea was eventually going to get that championship belt back. But I don't know. I felt like they kind of like that angle was hot in the summer and early fall, and I felt like they kept dragging it out. And part of it was Rhea got hurt with the facial injury or whatever. So that probably delayed things a bit, but I just kind of felt like, they kind of stretched it for too long, and then by the time they paid it off, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, like we kind of expected this, and I don't know, it just was what it was. I don't know. I guess I'm not articulate. Like I guess I just wanted a little bit more.
You wanted more. I get it. It's nothing wrong with that. I wanted more. There's nothing wrong with that. I think as I'm getting older and watching wrestling, they don't have to do much because it's been my hobby for damn near my whole life, right? And it ain't gonna change. So for a person like me, they don't have to do much. I'm gonna tune in. Well, I ain't tuning in.
Of course, I'm gonna tune in.
Wait a minute.
I'm definitely gonna tune in.
Let me rephrase that.
You're gonna tune in. We do what we do. We do a podcast. Of course, we're gonna tune in.
Let me rephrase that though.
From like the average viewer, like did they do enough to really like hook you for next week outside of just next week now being this week, obviously, of like, oh, these are the matches. Like, oh, this outside of just that, right? Like, was there any major? I don't know. It's like I don't know. Like for the pomp and circumstance of the show, it felt like, oh, okay. It's like building up this new steakhouse in town, right? Like, oh man, it's a great steakhouse, man. Oh man, it's gonna be the best steakhouse we've ever had. And then when you go, it's like, oh, okay, this is like some Outback shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it just felt like, oh, okay, it was okay, but like the hype wasn't worth.
See, and for me personally, that's where we differ on that. I feel like that it did deliver on what it was and what it was going to be and what is going to be in the foreseeable future. This is how Raw is going to be now. You're going to have maybe a musical act on there, not every week, but you may have them from time to time. It's going to be more of a, I don't want to say upbeat, but it just felt like the pace of the show was a little bit better. Whatever that even makes any sense.
Yeah, it was.
You're going to have a little more laid back freeness with the commentators. You're going to have different visuals as far as the camera and stuff. So and that's what I think I enjoyed the most because Raw has been so bland for years. Just seeing those little tweaks, those little differences, adding a little more energy to this show, I think is definitely going to help that. I won't be tuning in this Monday because I'll be watching my Vikings, but still, yeah. I can't really get mad at what you said because you're not wrong, right? Because it's just something that you personally want.
Again, and I feel like it was a good show. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, like, I had fun with Tribal Combat. I had fun with the Seth match. The Liv and Rhea thing was kind of what it was. I had fun with the show. Like, I liked the show. I know it's coming off like I don't like the show or I didn't like the show. I did, right? I just kind of wanted a little bit more, even just like some breadcrumbs to future things. It kind of just felt like, let's just pay off these feuds and we'll start dropping.
We'll start over next week. We'll start over basically.
Which is not a bad strategy, I guess, and it's on its face level. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I kind of felt like, I don't know. I would have had something kind of big. Even if, like, I'll tell you what. Like, had they just, I feel like the biggest issue I had with the show was just the Rock thing, right? Where it was just kind of like, hey, we're happy to be here. Congrats to my friend Ari Emanuel, and like corporate Rock. Like, that's not the Rock that people wanted to see. Like, they wanted Final Boss Rock, and we still may get that, right? But it was just weird coming out of Bad Blood, coming out of Tribal Combat happening, and you get the Rock. And it's like, if we're treating this like a television show, right? Like, it was just kind of weird that like, oh, hi guys, I'm back. Hey, congrats on WWE. Back in the day, you used to have to pay a ticket, and now we're here, and now I'm not going to bring up any. Oh, Cody, give everybody a standing ovation to Cody, even though I said I was going to kill him, and basically like, in not so many terms, mama, sexually harassing his mom type shit, like, and like, really, this is what you give me? Like, it's kind of like, okay, like, I guess, like, I don't know. It was just weird. That whole ride, and maybe it was by design. Again, there's still kind of questions of like, are we being worked as an audience or not? Like, there's still question marks about that. But I don't know, man. I just kind of felt like I wanted more from that piece, I should say. I was fine with the Seth and Punk things. I just kind of wanted more from that. I feel like if you have The Rock, make good use of The Rock, not just kind of like, hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. We're making more money than ever, guys, and everything is great, and wrestling's hot again. Yay! And then like that. That's it.
I can understand that to a certain degree, because I do think, put it this way. Let's give it a couple of weeks and see, because I feel like there's more to the story than just what's being, you know what I mean? What they're showing us and the story is being built right in front of us, and we just don't know it yet. That's what I feel. I could be wrong. Who knows? But I can understand what you're saying. It felt off, somewhat, a little bit off, because last time we saw you, it was a different story. So how did this story all of a sudden change?
Right.
Because you were basically final boss. Everybody in this place do what the fuck I say. Now you come in here like, oh, no.
He said he's coming for the world title or WWE title. Like, literally dropped that on Raw. And then you don't even acknowledge that? Like, you don't even say
was that
anything
a Raw or
it?
SmackDown? I remember that too. Where he came out with,
I was a Raw.
That
was the night after Mania. He said, oh, I'm coming for the next time you'll see The Rock, I'm going to come for that time. No acknowledgement of what he gave Cody. Remember who he gave Cody? When he shook his hand,
yeah. I couldn't remember if he outright said he was coming for the title or he kind of insinuated it. That's the part I'm kind of can't remember.
He didn't, remember the whole exchange where I'll let you hold mine if you load.
Yeah.
Like
that's what
they basically teased it without teasing. I mean,
okay.
They basically are telling you the next time you see this version of The Rock, you will, and then he came out of Bad Blood. He looked at Cody and he did the throat slashing thing, and then you have him come out on Raw on Netflix, the first episode. There's no mention of that. There's no nothing. There's like literally you're just sitting there like, the fuck is going on? Like, this is weird. The fact that he came out after Tribal Combat, he gave the Ulufala to Roman, like, or presented Roman with the Ulufala. I thought that was interesting because I was like, maybe they are working people. Like, I don't know, man, and maybe that's a good position to be, right? Like, the fact that we don't know is a good position to be, but I don't know. It was just really weird. Like, wasn't that weird? Like, I just felt like that was weird.
I can tell because you keep saying it.
It was just like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, they just kind of dropped, like, they just kind of retcon this shit. Like, this felt like some sequel to a slasher film. Like, didn't this nigga die? Didn't this nigga get cut off? It's like Halloween Resurrect. Like, didn't this nigga's head get cut off? And then he's just back the next movie. Like, none ever happened. Like, the fuck? Like, yeah, it just felt like a retcon of sorts, but not really. It just, I don't know. It was weird.
I get it. Listen, you're not wrong.
We can move on. It is what it is. But I mean, it was still a very good show. And then, of course, the implications of it from a business and
they just
a greater pro wrestling discussion.
They killing it.
It was big.
They WWE is fucking killing it, from sold out arenas to whatever else the fuck they want to do. They are killing it. They are back in the spotlight.
Listen, they're not crying for money. Let's just put it that way.
Oh no. By
the prices of these damn tickets. Whew.
Lord knows. Let's just say, being in the predicament that I'm in, I'll see y'all boys if y'all come to see me at SummerSlam. But other than that, I'm not going to nothing this year.
Shit, yeah, nah, man. Mania. I'm trying to make Mania work, but I don't know. It might be a year where I skip on Mania, man.
Let's just say I heard about those tickets from Netflix, and that was just a Raw. And I know how much I paid for SmackDown last year at the end of the year to go see SmackDown. And them fucking tickets were not fucking cheap. And I wasn't in the front row. And I was like, what the fuck?
I was on the floor for SmackDown because I went to the first SmackDown on USA in Seattle. and I paid about $500.
Okay.
For 2 tickets.
Two tickets.
I got lucky there. That's like
$500 each.
No, 200 each.
200 each.
Yeah, for floor
Oh.
seats. I got a good view. Like, yeah.
So
like
the Barkley, I was in that first. What do they call it? You got the floor, and then right above the floor,
like the loge section or whatever.
Whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Pay like
first. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
300 plus for one ticket. I won't even like that. I was up high. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
300 tickets each. I paid about close to 700. And I was like, wow, yeah, WWE different. I remember getting tickets like this back in the day for like 40 and $60.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
It's like 100 felt like a lot. You know what I mean?
I sound like my dad. Like I used to go in there for $5 to go see wrestling.
Supply and demand, man. I mean, when the product's hot, the price is going to be up. When the product's not hot,
Yeah.
Goes what it is, But supply and demand or whatever, the Mania ticket prices are just ridiculous now. I mean, some of these ticket prices.
Yes,
Lord,
sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, WWE. Come on. I'm thinking as we get closer, they'll probably drop down to a more manageable price. I would say, hopefully. But man,
let's just say, just to help you out, last year somebody I knew tried to wait that out, and they never went down. They kept going up. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
So I would say if you could find if that day or that week or whenever you decide to get your tickets, if you could find them and you like, all right, this seemed like a fair price. Yeah, it ain't gonna be no fair prices. But if you feel like you can afford it, then go ahead. I'll say get them right then and there. Do not wait.
Yeah, like we did the math, right? So like we both went to Mania last year,
right?
But like where I sat, which was like on the floor, like directly where the like ring post is on the announcer side. If that
all right,
sense.
so I know where you said that.
Yeah, like it was a little bit obstructed because you had one of the beams there, but like for the most part, great seats. I paid. What I paid this year, what I paid last year, with the price of that same ticket in that same general vicinity, it's about a $500-$600 increase.
Fuck.
Just putting that out there.
Look, man, yeah, wrestling ain't gonna get me this year. I am gonna behave because these things are. These things are your hobby, or these things that you love to do. But it's just, I was telling Shahid last year, it's just a certain limit I'm gonna put on it this year. Like I'm not paying astronomical prices just to go see wrestling. I'm just not doing it. It ain't
Especially
because
when
I
can see it at home,
right? And it ain't like I can't afford it. It's just that some stuff is just like no. It's just like me. Me and she had the joke where he was looking for the Mobb Deep Hell on Earth vinyl. He said, "Man, motherfuckers charging $1,000 for a vinyl record." No,
that's ridiculous.
No, I'm not paying $1,000 for a vinyl record.
First of all, I bought the album when it was in real time back in '96.
Right.
So I'm not about to pay $1,000 for it. You know what I mean?
And like he said,
if
push come to shove, he'll buy the CD. I'll get the CD before I'm not paying that much for like a vinyl record. That's insane.
Fuck no, of course not.
It's just certain stuff I'm not doing. That's just one.
The only reason I'm like it's the wife's birthday. Like Mania Night 2 is on the wife's birthday.
Okay,
we were probably gonna try to make like a weekend out of it.
That's fun. Yeah, I get that.
Thing. She's not a wrestling fan at all, but obviously, we'll go to Mania, then do Vegas shit after or Vegas shit in between. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, that's the only reason. And it's on the West Coast. It's an easy. It's an easy thing for us. So that's the only reason why I'm like, we're trying to make Mania work this year. But like, yeah, bro, these prices, these prices are,
they something. All right, so we talked about WWE. How's your AEW viewing been going?
Man, I am so behind on AEW, bro. Like, I have not been watching the product. I'll be honest with you. Like, I know what's going on. I know the general story. Like, I've been somewhat keeping up with what's going on. Like, I know what's going on, but yeah, I can't remember the last time that I've sat down and just watched Dynamite.
Well,
and I'm not even going to cap to any of y'all. I don't watch Collision, so
yeah, I don't watch Collision.
Yeah,
either.
So,
but
yeah, man, AEW is, at least in my household, AEW is in bad shape, bad shape for me. Because yeah, I haven't been keeping up with the product nearly as much as I used to. Man, yeah, it was just really bad for a long time, and I don't know if they fixed anything per se.
All right.
From what I know, but I
Let
could
me
be wrong.
let me
I don't
talk.
watch it every week.
Let me talk my truth.
Go ahead, speak your truth, brother.
Yeah, because this is gonna be hard, and I hate to do this because it's like I don't. It's not the performer's fault. It's never like I will never put anything on the other guys and girls that work and do all that good stuff in the ring. So I just think that because the first two shows that aired on Max, I watched full shows. I watched them. I had not watched any full shows prior to that in a long time when it was just on TV. Because I wanted to see how the Max feel would be and how it would stream. Awesome, Max doing an awesome job. Didn't have no issues. That's always a plus for me when I have no issues watching the show. I think as a boss, word is Tony's a great guy. That's all I know. Punk experience wasn't good. Everybody's experience is not going to be the same. We all know that at any job, even guys and girls at WWE. So I just look at the product of AEW as something that's there. There's absolutely the talent is there. There's no issue. There's no question that the talent that they have is not awesome because it is. But when it comes to Tony booking, it's something a little off-putting about it. To me, personally. Just me personally. This is not me shitting on Tony or shitting on AEW. Just some of the decisions that I think they decide there hurt them more than help. I think
I would agree with that.
Signing everybody that you could, and now that crop of people are leaving, Tony, why did you sign them? You basically did no different than what Vince would do. Sign somebody, don't do nothing with them. Or they're fun for a month or so, 2 months, and then you just, whatever. Go on Collision. Go do this, go do that. I'm not even, I promise you I'm not going to get on the Ricky Starks thing because that's the most annoying thing that bothered me. Like, I don't even know this man. I don't know him at all. But it's just like the most annoying thing when you see a talent that's there and you saw the brushes of greatness from his independence to NWA to even the spots that he had in AEW. He kind of pretty much knocked it out the park. I never seen him do anything bad. And now it's just like, well, we don't have enough for him to do. He's not on TV, whatever, for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know the politics back there. I don't know why. So I'm not even going to question, but it's just infuriating for a fan or a person who enjoys his work. Now, you're trying to rectify certain stuff. Now I guess Malachi Black is leaving, and now I see they trying to kind of let Buddy and the other guy, be their own man through storyline. And I just see Tony has this love for the older guys, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that, right? You want to bring in some old guys to help out the young guys, that's cool. But Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho thing has to stop, bro.
It's like, why? Like, I don't even understand what's happening.
Still doing this?
Why is this happening? Why is this on my TV right now? Like, Jericho is not the performer that he once was. This is outside of all the bullshit of him and his wife and all that Trump shit. You're just talking about him as a performer. He's way past that. Been past that for a minute. And that's okay, right? Things like that happen because the way that you're using someone like a la Jeff Jarrett, right? Why aren't you doing that with Jericho? Jericho doesn't need to be on TV every week. He doesn't. And you put him on a Ring of Honor title. And why would that make, okay, I'll ask you this. 20-year-old Manny putting the belt, a Ring of Honor, they say you heard about Ring of Honor, you was watching it. And they said, well, Jericho the champion, Ring of Honor champion. Why would that make you want to watch Ring of Honor?
No. It doesn't.
Even people like us who grew up seeing Jericho, we don't want to see him with the Ring Honor title. Like, what is that?
It's just like, yeah, nah, bro. The Jericho thing is
it's
just
done. It's over.
bad. And it's so many. It's so fun. I feel like this is the one thing that like AEW hardcore loyalists and everybody else are in agreement on. I think everybody kind of agrees. Like the Jericho thing is just, it's
weird. It's weird.
It's run its course.
It's
like, what are we
weird.
still doing here in 2025? Like we're not saying that Jericho still doesn't have a place or he still doesn't have a role in that company, but like this is just, it's too much, and it's just like, why are we here? Even the Jeff Jarrett thing is embarrassing. Like, really, Jeff Jarrett?
But I get the Jeff Jarrett thing.
Like, this is what we're doing.
I get that.
Like, and this is to all those AEW fans that would critique forever about, WWE being so loyal to the past and the Attitude Era, and never letting these guys go, and why is this happening, and why, like, this is the same shit. Like, this is literally like Goldberg still being a thing, and this is still like the Undertaker. We're still watching the Undertaker still try to have these matches for Saudi checks. Like, this is the same shit, bro. Like, nothing has changed. Like, the AEW's version of it, it's just at a lower scale and honestly much worse.
Listen, let me tell you something. The reason why the Jeff Jarrett thing don't bother me, because I think they're somewhat doing that a la Terry Funk, Ric Flair, where, of course, they're going to have a little run. They'll get to a certain point, and then they'll stop. I think that's where it's going to go. That's just me playing Booker. But I don't like playing Booker. I just like to watch the show. Mm-hmm. So there's something somewhat I like about the Jeff Jarrett thing. I don't know why. I guess it's something about the storyline I'm liking so far. But okay, you go to Moxley and his group. I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't even know what that group is. I don't. I just don't know what the fuck it's supposed to be exactly. I know there's the heels. Now,
that's literally every storyline in AEW at this point, minus a few of them. Like, it just feels like you know what AEW feels like? It's just like an amalgamation of ideas and like thrown at a wall, and like there's no direction. That's how I would characterize AEW. It's a bunch of ideas, but no real clear direction, no real guiding light, and that's why you need a booker. And listen, I'm not saying that Triple H is the best, because I feel like obviously every booker has his faults. It's like a coach, right? Like, no coach is just infallible. No coach, even the greatest of all times coaches, right? But this is where you need a leader, a guy with vision and a direction, right? If not, you kind of just have this roster with a bunch of ideas and no real guidance on where things are going, what's what, who's where, what are we building towards, what is the culmination, who is the guy. Like, it just feels like we're just kind of aimlessly running along with no real direction, no real purpose, and that's a bad place to be in. And I think it reflects in the ratings. I think it reflects in the audience attendance. I feel like it reflects in a lot of things, man.
Like, okay. Omega coming back was a breath of fresh air last week. That made me feel, oh, okay, good, he's back. I don't know why. It just made me be like, maybe because I'm a fan. I don't know. I was like, okay. So we got someone to think like. I think Will Ospreay's been doing the best he can with what AEW is. I do. I think he's been the best thing about AEW to me, because he's been a breath of fresh air. I'm still not sold on the Darby Allin thing. No knock on him, but I know what they're doing with him. It's just something off to me about it. Not him, the wrestler, just something how they present it. Something just feels off to me. Yeah. MJF is back. Something's off about it. I can't put my finger on it, but something's just off about it. Adam Cole is over there, but something is off about it. You get what I'm saying? Everything
completely botched that. Yeah.
Everything feels like something is a little off.
Again, an amalgamation of ideas with no real clear path or direction or feeling like things make sense. It just feels like we just got a bunch of guys, right? Like, okay, let's just kind of throw things against the wall and see what sticks. And this doesn't work. Oh, well, how about that? Like, it just feels like directionless. And I don't know, man. I feel like that's just a bad place to be in, where it just feels like there's no real path forward. Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's the vision? Like, if I was to ask an AEW fan, tell a non AEW fan who's never watched the product, tell me about the product. What makes it great? What are we besides besides the matches? Because like AEW in their sleep is going to always give you good in ring work. That's not even a selling point at this point. For at least for me, it's not. Maybe for some people it is. But like, what's the selling point? Like, what am I? Why should I be invigorated with this? And I don't even think anybody can answer that question.
Like you got Okada over there, right? He's doing whatever with the Bucks. Okay, they the new elite, and that felt cool for a minute till it didn't. Get what I'm saying? Like it felt like something different till it didn't, and then it's just. There's a lot of course correct. You got course correcting with AEW. They do something and then they just switch up. Sometimes they explain it. Sometimes they won't explain it. And it's just kind of like, huh? What? It's just, I think they need to do a better job of having an actual booker, or either maybe somebody need to help Tony with the booking. I don't think he should solely be doing it by himself.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I feel like this is an argument we've been having forever. So I'm almost exhausted by it, where it's like, yeah, Tony needs help. Tony needs help. And maybe it's going to take things completely bottoming out for him to finally like say, hey, something needs to change here. And things have bottomed. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm almost at a loss for words with AEW because, to see where that company, honestly, I don't even know what else to add. I just think that to see where this company was just 2-3 years ago to where it is now, and it's just sad. It's just sad, and I don't know what the fix is. Just obviously getting a booker, but just. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to really get, at least for me. I can only speak for me. I can't speak for other people. Every wrestling fan is different to a certain extent. But at least for me, man, I was so gung-ho and so excited about that product just 2-3 years ago. And it's not just so much about Punk leaving. That's part of it. But, just getting me excited again for AEW. I watch the matches that I need to watch. I go back and see the programs or the segments that I need to, and some are good, some are not. But it just feels like a directionless company right now, and it feels like TNA when it was at its worst. It feels like ROH when it was at its worst. It feels like all of the second competitors when they were at their worst, where it just feels like we just have a bunch of guys and a bunch of storylines and a bunch of performers and just really no direction, no clear direction or guiding light or path forward. And that's I keep saying it, it's a bad place to be. And I think it's reflecting in the ratings. I think it's reflecting in the attendance. And I don't know what else to add. I mean, I think that's just kind of where we're at with it.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think, like I said, just be the best number 2 company you can be. And with that being said, that you have to do things that maybe be unpopular. Maybe you lighten that roster up, let people go.
Yeah, they got to trim the fat.
I know that hurt Tony so much because, oh, God forbid people go back to where they wanted to go back. But we got to remember, too, when AEW started, just think about who was running WWE and what was going on at the time. And that product was in the mud. Right. So AEW was that light, a shining light. Okay, we got something different. And like I said, they had their moment to do a lot of things and really turn heads. I mean,
and they had it. And they had it. They had the momentum. They had it.
And I'm not gonna be like I was when I was younger.
At the 1 yard line.
I'm not gonna be like I was when I was younger. AEW needs to be around, right? Because there needs to be somewhere else to work.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to see them go out of business or anything like that, especially for the women and men that's working there.
Nope.
But what I do want to see is just better direction. That's all. Because they can bang in the ring.
Competition is great for business. It really is. And
Absolutely.
and it's just great. And I think that when you see a number two, a strong number two, I think most people are advocating just for AEW to be the best and the strongest number two you could be, or at absolute best, 1A, 1B. And I think they're so far from being even that right now. It's just wild.
No, because you got too many people just checked out. You never want to have people check out. You went from, what am I saying? Like you went from, barely getting a million, then getting to the 8s. Now I think they averages like 6 and 5s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you seeing that people are checking out. People checked out for whatever reason. And everybody's reason is different for why they checked out, why they don't watch it. But I know for people our ages, man, I ain't got that much time in the day. And if I'm gonna watch wrestling, I'm gonna watch the best thing. And the best thing is, sorry to say it, is what's going on Mondays and Fridays. Now I'm not saying this, but I'm just saying people look at wrestling like that sometimes. Like, well, I'm gonna watch that when this is so much better.
Exactly, and the presentation feels better, and everything feels bigger and grander. Yeah,
people
is in a bad spot right now, man, and I think that they just need. I think they just need a resetting of everything. Like if you were to bring me, and I'm not saying I'm qualified to be a booker, but if I did have a booker's mind, I would come in and just like everything that we've been doing, something this just is not working, and we need to change things around here. And it's like a bad team that just continuing to do bad shit. And like you bring in a new GM, a new coach, and it's like, hey, everything that we've been doing isn't working, and we need a reset on everything. And that's what I think AEW needs. Will they do it? I don't know. Will Tony allow it to be done? Will Tony cede power in that regard from a booking perspective? Probably not. We shall see. But AEW's in a bad spot right now, and I don't know how to get out of it without making those necessary moves.
As far as their finances there, it seems like they're doing good. I mean, Max.
Yeah, financially, they're still doing good. I mean, because, they still have a loyal base and they're still going to do okay. But again, to see where that company was just, 2.5, 3 short years ago to where they're at now, it's quite a fall off.
And, thinking about it now, going back to that time, smarter people than me were saying little stuff that I never quite understood at the moment. Well, I understood, but I would make excuses. Who, that's so-and-so. Oh, who is he? They didn't really give me, they really didn't showcase this person. Oh, they want you to go find out who he is. Oh, no, I guess that's easy. You go on YouTube, you can find out who they are. Well, I didn't think nothing of it. But now that little stuff, little small things like that starting to play back in my head now, where if I was somebody trying to get into AEW and week after week after week, I wasn't really given details of, certain things, I might check out too. Honestly, because we're not in the same world where, you see Rey Mysterio for the first time and you like, oh, who is this? Oh, wow, I'm looking at a wrestling magazine, a tape trader, best of Rey Mysterio. Oh, I'm gonna get my $20 and get this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't live in that world no more because everything is so fast and you can find it quickly. So it always should have been little things like that where they, take care. Really detailed things. Not in a long way. You can detail, and I've heard they gotten better with that. I think they have to a certain degree. But that should have been an initial thing. Like, hey, people don't know who Orange Cassidy is. Well, let them explain. Oh, he used to wrestle under a mask, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. He went all over, the independents. You get what I mean? Little backstories like that could have helped a lot initially. Oh, of course you can talk about Chris Jericho title reigns because we know where he came from. Oh, of course you could talk about Edge because everybody know where he came from. That's easy. But the hard part is explaining who a Willow Nightingale is. You get what I'm saying? Like, she's out there, but who is she? I ain't never seen her before. I'm here for the old acts. But you need to explain to me who the new acts are without me having to go into YouTube or Google and all that stuff. But that's just me.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah. Other than that, who you got winning the Rumble?
Man. I don't know. And that's a good answer, honestly. I feel like there's a lot of really different directions that they could go in. I would say right now, I'll answer that question next episode. No, because it like that's kind of one of the things, right? Like they really haven't, because is Punk going to be in the Rumble? Because I would say Punk, right? But are they going to do that match? I mean, there's so many different areas. Can go. What's this John Cena thing? Is he really going to win the Rumble and go to main, or are they going to have him kind of build out the story? Like they could go in a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
right?
Punk did say Punk in the Rumble. He's in the Rumble.
He's in the Rumble.
Yeah, he did say. He said it after the match.
Okay. He did. Yeah. I would say right now my favorite is Punk, but I think Punk, Cena, those would be the two betting favorites. Maybe there's a sleeper pick in there somewhere, but yeah, I would say Punk or Cena right now.
Does Cena get to 17? Does he break Flair record?
I think he probably does, just because I think they're already calling him the greatest of all time. I think they probably want to give it to him. Do I think he should? No. Yeah, I think so. I think he does. I don't know about Mania if he gets it, but I think definitely at some point throughout 2025, I think he gets it.
All right. I'm honestly thinking the same thing. I'm thinking either Cena or Punk, but leaning more to Cena just because I think that's an easier way to get him to the title match. To me, I'm not booking. So they may have already know a way to get to him. But that's just me.
Yeah. Like I said, if you're a betting favorite, I think you'd have to go with that. I mean, maybe Orton. A lot of it also depends on if The Rock's going to work Mania, right? So then obviously that ties up Cody or Cody and Roman, or some triumvirate of that, or maybe he doesn't work Cody and works Roman, and then so that it's just so many different possibilities. But I would say right now, I would say Cena or Punk are the betting favorites. With like, if I had to give you a third, probably Randy is like a distant third right now. But yeah, those are the only two. Those are the only names right now that make sense.
All right, this may change. Yeah, so don't hold us to this.
Next time we talk to y'all, we'll definitely try to squeeze in another episode before the Rumble, because there's so much going on in wrestling right now. But yeah, I think that would be my picks right now.
Bet. Get the folks all your socials and what you got going on before we get up out of here.
Yeah, man, we just wanted to give y'all a quick show because we ain't been on in months. Sorry about that. But I promise y'all in 2025 we definitely want to capitalize on wrestling being hot and cool again. So yeah, man, y'all can follow me on Twitter, X, whatever y'all want to call it, Twix, whatever, X, Elon's Playground, whatever. At DManuel Brown on Twitter, Instagram, the Brown Manual. I do baseball stuff. I do podcasting. Got some things coming up in the works in the future. So, that's the best place to follow me and see what I got going on, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is. You can follow me at Jeff versus the World on X, Twitter, whatever y'all call it. Until next time, we are out of here. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace out, everybody.